Going to the basics, okay, on the your physical safety, the basics. The first thing is zone defense. You have to be aware of what's around you. Now I break it down to 3 zones. Far enough away where I can see something's not good, I got room or time to run. And then the second zone is they're coming to me and it's too late to run and it's time to focus on a plan. And then I help with the plan to get some kind of a plan. And so now that's one part. Now to make your plan, okay, on that particular situation where we're in danger now, well then it'll be weapons to look for. What are they going to use against you? You know, how to counter it. And that's why I told you that, you know, I can show you kind of the basics, but until you put it together with maybe a few private lessons of martial arts, then it changes completely. And what you're working on is just, like I say, with your hands. And some people would use a weapon. And like I say, if I had long hair, I'd have a ponytail with a sharp object in it. So I would have a weapon there. You know, so it could be a knife or a gun. It just depends on the kind of weapon that you're comfortable with. Your lifestyle will allow you to have that weapon.
I think some people, you know, in talking to people and just people that are working out and about, they just don't consider. I mean, it's been more in the news lately, this year of 2011, and about all this stuff on preparation. That's a big word, being prepared. And I think maybe to a certain degree, a lot of people don't know. Well, they may not have the resources financially, but would you say still what's most important is preparing up here mentally? That's where you start. I mean, it's a choice.
Okay, self-defense at all levels. You know, even if it's personal, when you're on the street like that, or economic, or just anything, is 90%.
Okay.
It's 90% right there, and you get this by preparing. As you prepare, you learn. Just like what you've been doing. Each time, each step you take as you prepare, you're learning why this particular thing is important. Whether it's a weapon, whether it's gold and silver, whether it's skills, you learn skills, or anything, it doesn't make any difference. But it's all up in here. 10% is just what you got to do, so that's just no big deal. But you have to mentally be ready.
I think, do you think that, again, as I said, the term preparedness, why in this time, and it's kind of obvious in the newspapers and the radio and the talk shows, and it's in every form of venue of media we see right now, the television, everything. But why is it important to prepare? When we say that, from our talks that I've learned from you and everything, why is it, when people say prepare, in what avenues? Preparing for food, preparing for self-defense, preparing for, and why? I mean, in your opinion, what do you see why we should prepare with all these things right now? What is it that's culminating, do you think?
What I see is during these what we call modern times, this is the first time people are not prepared. All through history, you stay prepared. I mean, but we're from Oklahoma.
Right.
Okay, so, I mean, when you live, out west, I mean, you had a cupboard with lots of food in it.
Right.
You always did. I mean, a snowstorm can come, all this stuff. This was a way of life. Nowadays, there's so many stores everywhere, all this. People have just kind of got a little lazy. They'd rather spend their time and money being entertained instead of focusing on getting themselves in a position that they will be safe. It doesn't matter, like I say, we're talking about food, having food prepared or stocked up, or water purification, stuff like that. I mean, it just, we're just kind of getting laid back now. We're not keeping up with what it is, even with all the tornadoes and stuff. That's what it amazes me. But I've had so many bad things happen to me. That's why. But I've been ready. I've been prepared. So that's why when a bad thing comes, it's a challenge. You just have to get through it. Now, but if you're not prepared, a bad thing comes and you're devastated. we call them a disaster.
Right, right.